So I just want to hear from the audience, what are the topics that we discussed so far? Anyone can help me here?
We discussed about the model of MDG box implementation, hub model, or two types.
You're able to see my screen? Sorry.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Deployment. Yeah.
Next. Storage modes we discussed. Flex.
Reuse and reuse. Reuse we do mostly it's for time constraint data like finance.
Yeah. And then
how to identify the business functions that are available in the system.
Okay. How to find out system versions based on business functions and based on
connection switches.
Connection switches. I didn't get that.
Connection switches, right? Switches, you told some switches, business functions and switches.
Switches are part of business functions.
Okay.
Based on business functions and system status. We will be looking into MDG underscore APPL component. Yeah? Based on the system status. MDG APPL. We'll identify the version. And then we discussed about SICF services activation. Then verify then activate data model. Now we have to discuss how do we design and activate the data model. I remember we also discussed about the designing of type 1 entities, type 2 entities, type 3 entities, right? In the last session? No?
Karthik, design of active data model, we are not discussing, I think so.
No. Okay. So we'll be discussing it from today. So I think from here we will be starting.
Okay.
With the structure like the entities and also you'll be starting it from today.
Yeah. So before we design the data model, we need to clearly understand how our database schema, how our database tables are related in a backend. Now I will take an example of material master. Okay, so how are the material master data tables are related? There is Mara, Marcy, Mardi, right? Mara is a material table. Marcy is a material plant table. Mardi is a material plant storage location table, right? So if we look at the table, Mara is a table which will hold the general material data, and material number is a key field. The rest of the fields are non-key fields. The moment we create a material using MM01 transaction code, here the moment we create a material, this number would come and sit in my Mara table. Now when we extend a material to a plant, then that material will be saved in Marcy table. Here if you observe, the key fields are material and plant, both are the key fields. And if I extend a material plant to a storage location, then that record will be sitting in Mardi table. Here material plant storage location is a key field. Right? So if you look at the dependencies, always Mardi is dependent on Marcy, Marcy is dependent on Mara. Right? So I'll just have the table list. I'll keep the table list here. So Mara is the table out of which I am taking material number as a key field, and rest of them are non-key fields. Now, a table in ECC is considered as an entity in MDG. and schema in ECC is considered as data model in MDG. When we say schema in ECC, what are the total tables available for a certain domain and how these tables are related? That is called a schema. And in MDG we call it as data model. And a table in ECC is referred as entity in MDG. And a field in ECC is referred as an attribute in MDG. A table field is known as an entity attribute. Now, this is the table which we have in ECC, and this is the key field. And there is one more table which is MARC, where it has two key fields. One key field should be same between the MARA and MARC because MARC is dependent on MARA. The material number which is there in MARA should be also available in MARC. Else we cannot extend a material to a plant. A material key field has to be there. And then we have a plant as one more key field. Now, since the moment material is created, that record will be available in MARA. We can say that MARA is a root table. Or primary table. And any record which is created in MARC table, that means if a material is available in MARC, that material should be available in MARA, right? So this MARC is always called as dependent table. This is what an ECC relationships are. Now when we are coming to MDG, we are saying MARA is nothing but an entity. I'm just here mentioning the entities. MARA is an entity. Now, to say MARA is a root table, we have a type. That is type 1. Saying it's a root table. And we have one more entity called MARC. And to say that this is a dependent entity, dependent table, we have a type called 4. Dependent table. What is this type? This type is called as storage and usage type, which is assigned to an entity, which will tell the weightage of an each entity. If we set 1, that becomes a root table. If we say 4, that becomes a dependent table. Now we are saying MARC is dependent entity by this record. But MARC is dependent on what? How do we tell to the system that MARC is dependent on which table? Looking at the key fields, we as an end users, developers, we can say that both are dependent. But how does the system understand? So for that, there should be a relationship from relationship and to entity. From its Mara is leading Marcy. If I maintain this relationship, then system would understand yes, Marcy is dependent on Mara. When we maintain this relationship, what happens? System will derive the list of key fields from a root table to its dependent table. That means the key field which is there in Mara, material number, will automatically derive into Marcy. When we maintain this relationship between two entities, the key fields of Mara will automatically derive into Marcy. That's the nature of this relationship. Now, for an entity, type 1 entity or a root table, a root entity, we can set an attribute as a key attribute. There will be some checkbox. We'll say yes. But for type 4, we cannot mark an attribute as a key attribute. We cannot do it. Then how do I create a key attribute in dependent table? This attribute anyways is getting derived from my root table with this relationship. So I'm not bothered about MAT and that. But how do I create a key attribute in Marcy entity? So for that, I need to create a new entity, which is of type 3. If I say type 3, it will not create as a table, but it will be created as an attribute. So far, type 1 and type 4 are creating as tables.
Can you once again explain the type 3,
Yeah.
in one sentence?
Yeah. So the type 3 will always create an entity as an attribute, not as a table.
That means you are saying whatever the key field of the dependent table, there will be that is an attribute. That's what you are saying, right?
Perfect. Correct. For all key fields in the
Then
dependent table,
Magnar also key field, right?
it's key field, but it's getting derived from this relationship. It's automatically getting derived.
So
Make it very simple and straightforward. If there is any other key field in the dependent table which is not derived from the root table, then we'll make it as type 3. Am I right?
Exactly. Perfect. Correct. So I define an
sorry to interrupt. Then MMSTA will not become an attribute, right? So only VEX can be attribute,
Correct.
type 3 attribute. Yeah. Thank you.
So now works is becoming an attribute. But how does works attribute will be part of a key attribute in Marcy? We just defined works as a type 3 attribute. But how will it participate as a key field in Marcy? So for that, works qualifying Marcy. if I maintain this relationship, then automatically works would be a part of key attribute in Marcy entity. Now rest of these attributes are part of an entity attributes. These are also entity attributes. Okay. Any questions here so far?
Yes, Karthik, how can we understand the types that are available in a system? Like how do we identify like the systems? Like you're saying that it's type 1 and type 3, but there should be something like which says that this is of type 1, this should be of type 1 and this should be of type 3. Like how will we actually validate that? I mean, do we have to recall it? I mean, mark it by heart or what?
See, this is the concept. Now looking at the data, looking at the key fields, we need to understand which one can be type 1, which can be type 4.
Types are there in the system, like there can be multiple.
Sorry?
How many types are there in the system? Like in MDG,
Only
how many
type
types are
1,
there?
four
total.
types. Only 4
Okay.
types.
Okay.
Yeah, type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4.
Okay. And in regards to relationship, how many types? I mean, four types of relationship as well.
3 relationships.
Okay.
Karthik, in the Marcy table, the works comes for type 3. So what about other fields, other than key fields?
These are part of an entity. Like we have fields which are part of a table. Similarly, an entity will have the list of attributes.
Fine.
Yeah. Like a table consists of fields, right? Similarly, entity will consist of attributes. Now, I wanted to add a non-key field to a Mara table and to Marcy table, both of them. Same field. Either I can go to the individual entities and add the same attribute directly, or I can create one more type 3 attribute and make a relationship called referencing. I can do this. If I do this, automatically legal note will become a attribute, which is non-key attribute in both of my tables.
Karthik, in this case, you have tried to expand or created another attributes in the table, correct?
Correct.
So when we required any new fields into the table which records some functionality, in that case, we can add in both places in this manner by referencing.
Exactly. If you need the same attribute in multiple entities, okay, you can use this because you are creating an attribute once and referring it into 2 different entities.
So if I'll consider in this way, like Mara and MARC Currently, previously it was only one key fields. Now it become a two key fields.
No. Not two key fields. Now if you look at this, this is not a key field.
Correct.
This is also not a key field. These are non-key attributes.
Okay.
If we add referencing relationship, it will add an attribute as a non-key attribute to the entity.
Okay.
So Karthik, qualifying terms to key field and referencing terms to non-key field.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we understand this part, this is all about the data model designing aspects. Nothing more than this. Now, we also have one concept called type 2, which is to handle language translations. We have a concept called text table in ECC. Hope you are aware of this, right? Text table. Similarly, if we need any language descriptions from an ECC, we will be creating an attribute in MDG. Type 2 is a text table, but it would be used as an attribute in MDG. Example, now unit of measure will have a value table in ECC, unit of measure, and it should also have a text table assigned to that. No, it's not. Okay. means yeah. So we don't have directly at unit of measure, but unit of measure also has unit of measure group has a unit of measure, and that unit of measure has a text table. These are the text for each unit of measure, and if we go to text table, there would be a key field called language and the unit of measure, the actual table value. This is an actual table key field. This will have a language field also, one of the key field in the text table. This is used to maintain the descriptions in multiple languages. So to handle this scenario, we have type 2 entity in MDG. Now, automatically system will read the data from this dependent tables and it will display the values on a UI when we maintain type 2 entity. It's its unit of measure. I will add unit of measure, unit of measure is referencing Mara. If I say so, then automatically the list of descriptions which are maintained in a different languages will also come on a value help. When someone is trying to search for a list of unit of measures, therefore help, automatically all those descriptions would come here. Now this concept is a very rare concept used in MDG because the weightage of this field or the usage of this behavior is very limited. Are we clear? What is type 2?
Just it is possible to repeat it again. Just
Yeah. So generally in ECC we have descriptions maintained in different languages. For that we use a concept called text table in ECC. So someone will go and maintain the translations in various languages using some translation tools. Now, once we log in into MDG with a different language, say if I log in an MDG application in a German language, if I don't use this text table concept, all my descriptions will come in English. All my unit of measure descriptions will come in English. But I want them to come in a German language itself because the translations are granted. For that, I will create unit of measure as a type 2 entity. Then I maintain a referencing relationship so that it will become an attribute as part of my entity. Then for this, where all the list of descriptions which will come is part of some logic which we are seeing here. This logic will pass a list of entries to that type 2 entity. Yeah.
So to start with Satish here.
Mhm.
Is there any other scenario for type 2?
No.
So what you explained, we understood it. So only this one scenario we will use type 2.
Only, exactly.
Right?
One scenario.
Yeah.
You mean only kind of text tables will be used for type 2, right?
Correct. Correct. That's the whole point of type 2. And even this is not straightforward. When we say type 2, there is a concept of, assigning an access class to it. And then we need to write some piece of code. So this is not straightforward. And this is also very rare scenarios that we'll use. So that's why even if you are not understanding it much in terms of, at the starting level right now, I think I would suggest you to skip that part. Later on, when you are actually doing an implementation, you don't even look at this type 2 entities. Fine. So with this reference, I will be creating a data model now in the system. Now, what is the T code for MDG? It's MDG IMG is a transaction code. To configure MDG solutions. Right? So now I'll just take this data. I'm going to Master Data Governance and then General Settings and then Data Model. I'm trying to create a new data model in the system. These are all some existing data models. I want to create a new one. I'm saying it is a material light model. And I'm saying it's a flex data model. How do I say whether the data model is a reuse or flex? That depends based on the active area. If my active area equals to MDG, or if my active area is space, then it is a, it's already there. Then it is a flex data model. I repeat, if active area equals to space or MDG, then that's a flex storage mode related data model. If I give an active area other than space or MDG, then that means it's a reuse storage mode. But I am not getting any values here. That means I need to configure the active area also. I go to active area from data model. I'll say new enters, material reuse, I'll talk about this access class. If you remember in our discussions, the data replication in reuse mode will happen through what? Through access class, right? Let me go back to the discussion. Always, the reuse storage mode will implement access class. So this is that access class which I created and assigned to a data model. Now if I go to 2M, in active area F4, I can assign the access class. That means it's a reuse mode now. It's no more flex mode. It's a reuse mode now. Any questions so far?
Yeah, that access class is a Z1, right? So we have to write the code for that, or any predefined class we can copy or something.
We need to write our own logic inside that.
Okay, so it is a reuse, right? It will be same for all the data models, or specific
will
to a
be
data model?
specific to a data model. So what does this reuse will do? It will read the data from ECC and it will post the data to ECC, right? So
Yeah.
each data model will have its own reuse mode, each access classes.
Okay.
Now this data model will have entities. I don't have any entities here. Let's say Mara is an entity and I'll give the issue type as 1.
Karthi, regarding the storage type, you explained in the last class.
Which one? Flex or reuse mode?
No, storage type.
No, not. I just explained this in the today's class. Any questions there?
No, actually storage type is different than entity types, right?
Yeah, see, storage type and entity types both are same. People will use two terminologies. Storage or use type is equivalent to entity type also.
Right now you explained the 4 entity type. That's what storage type. Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah. Type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. If you look at the description, I said SU type, storage and usage type. Right now it is giving a very advanced error saying, leading relationships is not existing. That's fine. Now we need to remember here one point. Right now the active version equals to none. We'll just observe this active version. Going forward, it will change. Now I have this Mara entity, and this Mara entity will have the list of attributes. Let me pull these attributes. And I'm giving the description of it.
Matnar will not keep as a key field.
I'll keep that.
Okay.
So out of these, material number is a key field. Okay. PSTAT is not a data element. The data element name is different for PSTAT. It's not same as attribute. So now Mara has a material number which is the key field, key attribute.
Karthik, Priyanka here. Just wanted to know the attributes that you are using, the code, are they standard for this table?
Standard. They are coming from Mara table.
Okay. Okay.
I just pull these names. VPSTAT, PSTAT, LVO, or till mains.
Okay. Okay.
Karthik, do we need to import the structure in MDG once again? Like we need to do it for each table?
Sorry, come again. Input structure.
No,
What do you mean by that?
import the structure. Like you're defining the structure once again over here. So with some less fields. So do we have to do for MDG for each and every table that we are defining as an entity?
Yes.
Okay. So we can actually reduce the structure fields also, right?
Yes.
Or we have to include all the structures that are similar to ECC. I mean, all the fields that are similar to ECC in Mara.
Yeah. All the fields. All the fields we need to. It's not like single structure we cannot include there. We need to pick each and every field and then we include.
Yeah, because you have included just few structures, not all structures of Mara. I mean, all fields of Mara. So I was asking.
Right. So since we are doing it as a POC stuff, right here as a mini project,
Okay.
I'm just only taking very few fields.
Okay, but in actual scenario, we need to import all the fields of the table.
Mara table, exactly.
Okay, okay.
Any standard data model for MM which will have Mara, all the fields?
Yeah, we have the standard data model called material, MM.
Okay.
Now, I go to new entity called Marse. And I'm saying SU type, this is what? 4. March is what? Type 4. It's dependent table. right? Again, it is saying you're not maintaining sufficient relationships. That's okay. Then I go to Marcy attributes. So here we have concluded that these are the two attributes which are deriving from some relationships. Except these two, we will be configuring the rest of the attributes. Now, as I said, we cannot assign a key field for type 4 entity. Right now it is giving an option, but it will throw an error the moment we maintain the relationships. Let's do that as well. Key attributes must not be assigned to an entity type Marcy. This is not allowed for the attributes of the entity types which has a issue type called for. So these are the key fields, and then you continue further. Right? So we have two entities created. Now one more entity that works, and that is of type 3. And since it itself is an attribute, we need to assign, for every attribute we assign the data element, right? So at the entity level we need to assign a data element to this entity because it will turn as an attribute. Now for this entity type 3 I cannot go and add attributes. No, I cannot do it because it's an attribute by itself. So now I have all the entities created and each entity has its relevant attributes. Now all I need to do is maintain the relationship between them. Mara is leading Marcy. So for this relationship, we are giving some relationship name. This is not much relevant, but we need to give a relationship name. This may be required for the developers to use it. Some random free text name. So for the developers, So for the developers to refer any relationships, it is really hard for them to identify with the entities because you can have the same entity in multiple relationships. They cannot get exactly this is the relationship I want. So for that they have given some free text naming. If you are referring to this, yeah, I'm referring to type 1 leading type 4. Yeah, sorry.
Just one thing, like then the relationship should not it will be a key field in that case, or we can make it as a,
It's a key field.
okay, with the relationship. See,
The
in
relationship is
the
not. Yeah.
no,
Sorry.
here I'm taking a Mara one table to other table. Okay, so can I use Mara to MARC again for any other any other table reference?
Yes, you can do it. You can do it. But actually, if you are doing a two different, I mean, you are using two different, you are using same entities from and to, and you are just changing the relationship name. How does it impact, or how does it useful for us to do it? It will not bring us anywhere, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I need to use, so I'm saying Mara is leading Marcy and Works is qualifying Marcy. And for this, we need to maintain some cardinality. That means one record in Mara can have multiple records in Marcy. So it's 1:n. And Works is an attribute. This can be used in multiple entities. So this is also 1:n. Now I have the data model with entities, attributes and the relationships. Now I will visualize the data model on the top. I can see that this is a data model which has an entity and these are the attributes, and Marcy is an entity which is under Mara. So on the left hand side you can see only key fields, key attributes. The moment you double click on the right hand side you can see key attributes and non-key attributes also. So MATNR it says inherited key attribute. Works it says qualifying in P type. And the rest of them are attributes.
Hey Karthik, here I have a question. What is the reason behind creating a new data model to enhance in the UI screen?
No. So if you need to understand the data model concept, we need to definitely create a new data model. For this
Not only I'm saying the purpose of the data model itself,
Okay, so I didn't get that. So what is the purpose of the data model you're asking?
See, we have the material data model, the standard, right?
Correct.
How does it comes to play? Where does it comes to useful?
Okay, so being a customer, I want to use a governance solution for MDG material. Okay. For that, being an SAP, I'm selling you a solution for say $10 million. And you're saying I'm giving complete solution, all the material master related tables and entities, and you're saying I'll show you MM. You take my data model, my solution, it has all the attributes, it has the classifications, it has the documentations, material documentation, sales views, purchase view. You're saying I'm giving everything for $10 million. But as a customer, I'm asking, sir, I don't need all the solution, I just need few attributes to govern. That is what my scope is. Then SAP says, I don't have such a light solution with me. Either you take complete solution with me or you don't take it. So what do we do? Either we have one option to go to SAP and take the complete solution which you don't use it, or you build your custom data model. What you are exactly looking for, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So this is one of the business scenario that we do a data model which already available in out of the box solution.
So Karthik, can we enhance the standard one or we have to create a new one with no
No, we can
structure?
enhance. We can definitely enhance the standard solution.
Okay. So can you just show us, just anyone?
We have MM here, material, standard one. Okay, I'll go to an entity. I have various type 1, type 3, type 4 entities here. I have something called master storage location. Master store. Here I'm saying nodes. Marcy store, it will have node. Yeah. The concept of enhancing is also same as what we are doing in the custom solution. There is no difference.
Defining the standard data model only we are modifying. So, will not be there any problem when you're using the standard to modify? If we delete any entity or we delete any relationship and the standard. So,
I understand. So, yeah, so it's not like, generally we go to any program and we have certain activity steps. You go and enhance, and then you do enhancement traditionally for all the ECC objects. But here, all we are doing is we are adding some entries. If you closely observe, what we are trying to do here, it's kind of a view. In this view, we are trying to add some entries. Right? So for this, SAP cannot provide any enhancement option explicitly. Now, as you said, adding an attribute or unfortunately deleting an attribute or deleting an entity type will definitely cause an issue. That's where this data model is considered as a very sensitive activity which we are doing. generally in any of the implementations projects, no one will be having an access to change this data model until and unless one of the technical person who is nominated to do the changes. Let's say you and me belongs to this MDG implementation for a specific customer. Either you will take a responsibility to do it or I'll take a responsibility to do these changes, not both of us. Okay. So I'll be going to 2M and visualize the data model.
So Karthik, one question. Can I?
Yeah, please.
Can we copy a standard data model and can we manipulate that?
Yes, we can do that also.
So there is an option to copy.
Yeah, there's an option to copy.
But in a regular practice, we'll do the modification to the standard one only, right, Karthik?
Yeah.
Any modifications?
As part of any implementation, if we have to enhance something, we generally do not copy those data models. We will enhance or will modify the standard one.
Okay, thank you.
So now, if we observe the active version, right now it is none. Now I'll save and then I'll activate the data model. Now if you observe, on the bottom left, system says check and generate database structures. System is generating some staging structures in the backend. Yeah. Data model 2M is activated. Now if you refresh this, now this none will turn into same. So what does this active version says? The active data model available in the system is what you are seeing on the screen, on this UI. Now if you are seeing something as different, there is an active data model available in ECC somewhere, but right now someone has changed it. That's why it is different and the changes are not yet activated.
So after it will get activated, it will come as the same?
Same, exactly. So example, I go to this data model, I just do some changes. M2 has turned into different now. Again I will activate it. It will reflect as same. Yeah. So This is how the data model creations would be taken into place. When SAP will design a solution, they will consider which entities will be part of type 1, which entities will be part of type 4, which entities will be part of type 3. They will be doing an exercise similarly what we have done here. Any solution developers has to do this kind of a practice. See how the ECC schema is available, how the ECC tables are linked between each other using the key fields, and then you design the MDG entities, mark which one can be part of an entity attribute, which one can be part of derivations from relationships, and then you activate a solution. If you are taking any out-of-the-box solution, you don't do this exercise at all. You don't configure OG in the system, like how we did. We don't configure BP. We don't configure MM. All these entries will automatically comes into the system the moment you activate the data business functions. So in the enterprise business functions, if I activate this material foundation, material 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, then automatically this activation will bring the data model into the system. We don't need to define the data model. Now, the structures which are generated, so it has generated a staging for this data model. Where do we see that staging? We'll go to a T code called /home mdg underscore data underscore model, and here we'll give a data model name to him. I can see there are two entries. First entry is it has created a staging table. This is the table name, /1md/md underscore star HC. If I open this, I can see the transparent table created with all the fields which are part of the entity. And some other fields, the remaining fields are related to the MDG framework to update the change logs. And if you notice, this is a temporary object, /md/. This is a temporary object. That means this object cannot be moved to the quality and production systems. In quality, system will automatically generate one more transparent table. Maybe the name would be OBC or OBZ. We don't have any idea about it. Similarly, there is a dependent table. Any questions so far?
Can you repeat this transaction code once again? MDG underscore?
Data underscore model.
Okay.
If you look at the standard data model BP, it will have various entities. If you look at 0G, these are various other.
So we call it as a MDG tables or staging areas?
Staging area.
Staging area.
We call it like staging tables or staging area.
MDG tables also can we call, or?
No, we should not call MDG tables. When we say MDG tables, those are nothing but my MDG IMD tables. So whatever the tables where my data model is sitting, right?
Yeah.
These tables are called as MDG tables. Either staging table or staging area.
Okay.
Or we can call generated tables.
Yeah. Okay.
So the point here we need to take, for any out-of-the-box solutions, we will be not configuring this data model at all. Right? Which automatically comes from the business function activation. So people will hardly know about type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Now, there is something called business object type. Define business object type. Now, business object type code is something which will link various configurations in MDG. Example, we have key mapping. We have data model. We have UI modeling. FPM, sorry, workflow. SMT mapping.
Process modeling is there, right?
Yeah. Process modeling. Replication.
Data replication was saying like DRF.
DRF. Yeah. Data loads. It's like this, we have various, still there are some other value mappings and business object type configurations and so on. So how does a data load knows that to which UI it has to work for and to which data model it has to work for and which workflow it has to trigger? Either the data model the data load should know should connect to UI modeling, should connect to data model, should connect to workflow, should connect to SMT, and so on. Now, how does data UI model know to which UI it is working? Again, UI modeling will have its own relationship. Likewise, each and every node has to connect with other nodes. A very complicated relationships. Instead, what they can do, everyone will talk to BO. Now, if data load wants to understand to which UA model it has to work, it will talk to BO and BO will give the information because BO is connected to empty configurations in MDG. Yeah, that's an advantage of that is the role of BO type. Now, here I'll create a BO type for our solution. 2M, right. I define the BO type and then I'm assigning it to a data model immediately. I go to type 1, assign business update code.
Kati, what is this BO object type? What's the purpose of it?
So that is what we discussed now.
Okay.
It will act as a centralized unit which will link to all the configurations.
Okay, got it, okay.
Yeah. So right now we defined a BO type and we are linking it to data model. Next we'll have the same BO type, we'll link it to UI modeling. We'll link it to workflows also, like that. And I'm saying this is the root entity, Mara. So, yeah, this is where I would like to stop the today's session. If you have any questions, we'll take them.
Do we
So
have
BO
class
type,
tomorrow? So we have class tomorrow?
Tomorrow we don't have.
Okay.
so Karthik, BO type you added to Mara entity, right?
Correct.
So rest of the entities no need to add again
No,
because of
The rest of the entities you don't require to do
okay.
it. Yeah. It is only the
Karthik,
root
if tomorrow
entity identified. Once the root entity is identified, then all the dependent tables will automatically, link to each other, right? All
Yeah,
dependent
got it.
tables come to root table. So only root table we need to add it.
So you created a business type, but nothing you defined in that any other specific things we need to add.
No. We should not compare this BO type with an ECC BO type. Generally in ECC,
Okay.
we'll create a business object and then we'll assign the business object to one of the BAPI,
Right.
right? So that's a
Yeah.
BO, business object. It's a business object type code. It is different.
So it contains nothing. Only just
Nothing. Here,
okay.
the purpose of the BO there is you have one BO that will have all the create BAPI, change BAPI, mass change BAPI, mass upload BAPI and all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
So here the BO means you have the data model, you have the workflow, you have the process model, you have the data replication to a BO.
Okay. So bringing all together into one amount, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Got it.
Karthik, can you share this Excel sheet today?
Yes.
And tomorrow we have class or not?
No, tomorrow we do not have class.
Because last week you told this week you're going to take the class Saturday and Sunday.
Yes. Actually, there is some delay with my client still. They did not give an approval to go back to India. There are some pendings from the client side to complete.
Fine. So might be next week it will be available.
Exactly.
Sunday. Thank you.
Karthik, can we able to know that the overview, how many topics are pending? So
Oh, we are still starting actually.
yeah, no, that's I know because exactly I'm having assignment. So how many class it will be if you will tell me so I'll make our plan.
No, I didn't get that. You want, what is the flow that we will be going on? You want how many
No,
classes?
yes. So if you'll tell me the flow also, so I'll come to know. Okay, we have done this and these many topics. So every week you will cover every week you will cover 2-3 one session also. So how many weeks it will go?
It should go for ultimately 8 weeks,
8 weeks.
considering Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Any PPT for that, Karthik? For the
Yeah,
flow?
so this is, yeah. So there would be a PPT. I'll be sharing you the PPT, the concept which we discussed. This would be generally discussed after the practical that we do. Because since we are new to MDG, we would not understand the terminologies and all the entry types.
Right.
Yes, correct. Now you are clearing the basics here. So
yeah. So then it makes sense, for us to go and read the documentations of PPTs or any online portals. Yeah.
Right.
I'll share the PPT also.
Okay.
Question, you told that you will be sharing the links I mean, for the configurations, like what all services need to be activated and will you be sharing it this week because I haven't received it? I mean, did you share it to other people because I just wanted to ask.
No, actually we did not share any of those links. I think this session, after the sessions, we are planning to share it. You just check with the management. I think people who got clear the commercials, they will be getting all these materials.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more thing, Karthik, to get completely comfortable with whatever you are explaining in the class, is it better to have some understanding and basic knowledge to be groomed ourselves to understand to the extent what is really required. Basically, whatever you said today, I am having some gap in understanding what is really required. So I feel that I need to have some
You
basic knowledge.
understood the concept? No, you understood the concept?
Yeah, basics I understood, but the flow, whatever you are doing and assigning the model and all, I really not feel comfortable. Maybe I need to do it on system.
Yeah, definitely. You're expected to do that in the system.
Okay.
And
Then only I can be comfortable,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. In fact, there are assignments which are planned for you on this data model. Okay.
Okay.
So there are 2 assignments which I planned. I will be giving the assignments. By the next week when you guys are coming, when we are discussing, you will be completing the assignments. If you're not able to complete, I also have a solution document, how to do it. You can refer to the solution document also.
Okay.
Karthik,
Okay.
do you have a document with screenshot of whatever you are doing? Because I'm also not comfortable on the system. I mean, where to go and how to do that.
Sorry, screenshots?
A kind of
Yeah,
screenshot or...
the screenshots are there in the PPT.
Okay. And when can I expect to get the access to the system?
Today, because today we are into the system, you have to complete the assignments. I will be sending a mail to the team to create a user ID. So from now on, you will be getting a system access.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is the right time for us to get an access so that, we would have saved at least last 3 weeks of time. If you activated the system, validity of 3 weeks would have easily went away like that.
And one more thing, if I follow your classes on regular basis within these 2 months or 3 months of time, will I able to get into the project and do the needful customization and MDG work?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
I
definitely.
directly?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in fact, we are doing one step ahead to what you are asking. We are completely designing a complete solution. So, the only reason why we are doing it, earlier, MDG business partner training, material training, finance training used to be there. Let's say you come and enroll here for MDG business partner, you take training of business partner. Again, you will be assigned to a material in your projects. Then you don't know about material. Again, you used to come back and enroll for a new course. Yeah, it was time and cost, both effect from your side and from our side also. So then we changed the concept of, let's do not go with the solutions perspective. Let's go with the architecture, framework perspective, so that it is solution independent. Now, if whatever the concepts that we are learning, you can apply the same concept to any solution.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's solution independent and it will cover all the, if I wanted to cover all the topics in MDG, using enhancements, I cannot cover them. I need to definitely start it from scratch, zero. Only then I can explain you the topics, with all insights. So that's the reason we are going with this complete custom solution development, which is one step ahead to what you were asking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then let's catch up next week.
Karthik, can I ask one question regarding data model, if it's okay?
Yeah, please.
Okay, actually, you were talking about some other table that is MARD. So in that table, like if you can go to that Excel sheet that you have created.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I want to enter one relationship between Mara, then Masi, and then Madi. So the thing is that will I create an entity type with Masi with Madi or Mara with Madi? I mean, what is the process? I mean, I was thinking about Masi with Madi because Masi has already created an entity with that
Plant.
field. Yeah,
Correct.
plant. So we have to create an entity with Masi and Madi, so
Correct.
that plant also gets included in, and we don't have to create any other entity with, the plant. So is it the
Perfect.
way?
Correct.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Marcia will be leading Mardi. So if you're able to see my screen,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so we have Mardi, which is depend on Marcy.
Yes.
Yeah. So material number and plant both are coming from the leading relationship because
Yes.
Marcy will be leading Mardi,
Mm-hmm.
and LGORD will become a qualifying relationship.
Yes. So I have to create another attribute with LGORT.
Exactly.
Flat. Okay.
You can see the relationships as well.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So it is connecting only two tables. If there is a third table to have a link, for example, Marcy is linked to some other table. How you
So
make
the
up?
same example, no? Marcy is linked to Mardi now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you can have multiple linkages to Marcy. It's not about only Mardi.
Yeah.
You can have plant level attachments, let's say, example. So you have Marcy related attachments.
Yeah. So Marcy can be connected to multiple tables as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
For independent
It's
field.
one is there.
Okay, one is there. Okay. Thank you.